Look what I got. I spent a lot of money. Why does my shirt look weird? Because I tugged on it right there. Son of a bitch. Do I change it? No. Will it bother me later? Yes. And it's really bothering me. I need to change my shirt. So I spent a lot of money. I spent about $1,000. I definitely spent $1,000. The other day I spent $900, and then I went back and got this. Also realized that I'm forgetting a couple things. I need 2 more lights, probably a couple more light switches. I think once I'm all done with this whole electrical project, I'll be right around the $1,500 range, which I would say is at the top of what electrical should cost you. That's whoa. But I got a bunch of shallow cans right here. Maybe I'll tell you a little bit more about these when I work with them. But I got 8 of these, I think. Yeah, 8 of these. 865 watt, which is actually 10.5 watts. Now, normally when you buy something, it's going to tell you how many watts it has, but it won't tell you how many amps it uses. It might. Watts, no amperage. Maybe if I read more, and maybe if I open the box. But I believe if you take this, requires 10.5 watts, so 10.5 watts. Don't even put that in, and divide it by 120 volts, or just 120, and it gets 0.08 amps. Is that right? I'm gonna Google it so I don't give misinformation. 0.875. I was right. I got a bunch of boxes for different types of electrical stuff. You know, this would be a round one where I might have like a light coming out. This one would be for outlets or light switches. I got some finished lights that I'm not sure why I bought those, because that's not going to be towards the end, but I might install them just to make sure everything works. I've got a bunch of other little things right here. Wire connectors, a bucket full of outlets, light switches. I've got 500 feet of 14.2. Somebody said that I was cheaping out on the wire. I can't understand why you would put 14.2, which would carry 20 amps in a tiny house. I won't have anything in this house really that's on 20 amps. I might have the refrigerator on a separate 20 amp breaker, which is only about 10 feet of wire, which I already have. And then I think the split mini duct, I think it runs off 15 amps, but I might run a 20 amp wire out there. I bought some tools, some wire cutters, a screwdriver, and a wire snipper. Maybe this will make me work a little bit more efficiently, I hope. And I got 2 3/4 inch drill bits. I got one really long one, so maybe I can use it in different places that needs it. And then I got a little one. I'll go into all this stuff a little bit more in detail once we start putting it in. But step 1, install your boxes. So I already installed these boxes. This is where I'm gonna have the light switches for the living room, kitchen, and the bedroom. And then right here I'll do the light switches for outside. There's no like code for this. I couldn't find a code at least, but there was a standard that is used, and it was 48 inches. I find 48 inches to be too high. I feel like if you just swing your arm out like that, that is where it should be. Boom, boom, boom. So I'm gonna put in a bunch more of those most likely, and put some can lights in. So you can see I already installed one can light to kind of feel it out. I didn't lock it in this direction yet, but it is locked in on this, which is 2 feet from here to the center. Yeah, well, I'm about a 1/4 inch off. So these are the shallow cans I got. Now these can be installed directly up against insulation, I read somewhere. Could be wrong, don't quote me on anything ever. Oh, I never did my disclaimer. Don't listen to anything I do ever on any of my videos, especially in this video and future videos and past videos. Just don't do anything I ever do. Cool. So I have no idea what these are. I'm going to read some numbers to you. Maybe H271, or maybe it's an ICAT. But you can install insulation directly up against this. I'll be using Roxol insulation, so I think even with the other boxes you could install Roxol right up against it, because Roxol won't catch on fire and it won't melt. Well, it will melt, but really high temperatures, like center of the earth is melting hot. Now, since I'm doing tongue and groove beadboarding on the ceiling here, if these lights are off a little bit, it'll be really noticeable, because you're going to have a bunch of straight lines running down the length of your house. So I really want these to be as close to perfect as I can get them, because it'll be very noticeable. Ow! Right into the finger like I didn't need that. I wish I could zoom out more. You know, I'm just gonna double check, you know, butt into this. I got like 20 3/4, you know? And then we'll come right here. Oh yeah, baby, 20 3/4. So, from here to here, I'm not measuring to the center of the light, I'm just measuring to the outside. I got 20 3/4. I'm gonna go right, you know, like roughly, that should be 1.5 inches, so just hold 1.5 inches. What did I say, 20 3/4? I'm gonna slide this box over until I hit 20 3/4. Is there a bug on me? It felt like it landed on me. Oh god, I hate bugs. Oh. We'll slide that over to 20 3/4. Makes sense. Then in the back of this box, there's a screw right here. If you tighten that screw down, the box won't slide. Pick up what I'm throwing down. That's good. So it's locked in. I'm gonna end up unscrewing that again so I can get insulation in there. But that's where that's gonna go. You know, surprisingly, these were pretty cheap. I think they were like under $20, and the lights were like, I think under 15, and I know both those numbers are wrong. I went high on both of them, but pretty damn cheap. The amount of trash that one produces when building a house is insane. Ooh, a new shit bucket. Ah, clean too. Ooh. So I'm just measuring from the wall into a fixed point on the light. So this track right here is 20 1/4 inches. So as long as I'm close enough to that, and then I can just transfer those marks right up here. So 20 1/4, put a mark, and as long as I keep that box oriented correctly, so like this, I should be good. 20 1/4, baby. Put that where it's got to go. And we're starting out on the wrong foot because I can't hold that. I can hold that though. I need my hammer though. Fail. That's 3 can lights. Going quick. So I realized when I was watching my videos that this looks like really low. If you've ever seen other people in tiny houses where they go into their like kitchen area below their loft, their ceilings are sometimes like right here. So it's actually pretty spacious. I know it looks kind of claustrophobic, but it's pretty good. There's gonna be a couch right here, so you'll never stand there. So right there, you're good. The only spot you'll get to is right there. So what? This is 6'3 1/2". So I got a bunch more of those can lights to put in. If you have 3 or more in a row, I would strongly recommend stringing a line, doing your 2 end ones, and then clipping a clamp on right here with a straight line, a chalk line basically, but without chalking it, and have it run through the dead center of this one or on the side. Use that as a reference point, and get all your lights in line so that when you're doing your ceiling, if you're doing tongue and groove, it'll all be in line and it'll look the nicest. You know, another thing to figure out where to go side to side is use your rafters as a straight line. Unfortunately, I never told you this, but I've made a mistake on my house a long time ago, and I've told you in many videos, but I never put it in. It always gets cut out. So if this makes it in the video, I finally decided to come clean. But my rafters are not running straight. They are running on a slight angle in this direction. Nothing major, nothing I can't fix or hide. You'll never notice it. But I don't want to be pulling off my rafters. It's not good to breathe that stuff, so you shall evacuate. So I installed all my cans. I got these 2 in the kitchen, right in the center. Hopefully it's good. You can kind of see, last night yeah, this is a new day, but I installed these cans here, and I put in my vent, which I'm really happy about. It's actually really cool. And I've got 2 light switches right here that I control that whole thing. And then in the bathroom, I've got a light switch here, which will control a light. And then I've got a GFI outlet. I'm not sure if this is within code, but there's going to be a sink right here. So these are going to be really close to the water, but I think we'll be good. It's only 15. My zipper was down. It was out of the shot. Good. So I got a ton more boxes to put in. I'm going to show you just a couple of them that I'm going to do, but I've got a lot. So again, see, this is where it's clutter. We have kitchen stuff because I'm living here. Peanuts, water, tools. It looks like a mess. But I'm sorry. It's what happens because I live in this house. I need a marker. I had one on the floor. I remember seeing one on the floor. So right here, my stove is going to go right here. And the stove's only about 20 inches. So what, 20 3/4? Because I'm going to have 3/4 on there. So it's only coming to right here. And it's 44 3/4 high, I think, which is right here. So I need to keep that in mind. I'm having a piece of 3.5 inch trim right here, so I'll be good there if I put it on this. So if I go like right about here, it should be pretty good. It won't be in the way of the stove. Good. And then what this will be is a GFI outlet, 15 amps most likely. Might do 20, I'm not sure. Probably just 15. And then 2 light switches. First light switch will control a light that goes above the sink. Second light switch will control the garbage disposal. I'm not sure I'm going to put one in, but if I do, I want the power and the light switch to be there. So worst case scenario is I can take that light switch out and I can install an outlet. So the first thing I'm going to do when I'm installing is I need to know the thickness of my finished wall. Now, I'm going to be using 3/4 inch tongue and groove, which it's probably going to end up being just a hair under. So I'm going to mark this box. Some of them have marks on them. These don't. So I'm just going to go a hair lighter than 3/4 on both the sides where the nails are at. Now there's these knockouts in the back of the boxes. I would recommend taking the ones out that you know need to come out, because they're a pain in the butt to take out. Seriously, a huge pain in the ass. Someone's got to know an easier way. Like, what are these things and why do we have them? Hate them. I don't think you're supposed to break them off. I think you're supposed to push the wire through it. I don't like them. So I'm just looking at my little mark I got there and driving those nails in. So when you install these, sometimes you bend those nails. So this ends up being like catty-womp-ass crooked, which it is a little bit. So what you do to fix that is just bend these nails back a little bit or forward. In my case, it's pretty much always been back. That's good. And then down right below the sink, I've got a single box which will hold the wire for the disposal. And then this is a flat box basically, or a ceiling thingy. I don't know exactly what it is, but you screw this directly to framing and then you run the wire into it. I've got a header above there, so I've got a header above my sink, and this needs to go pretty high, I guess. It's going to go right about there. So since I want that light right in the center of this window, I'm just going to measure this frame really quick, you know, like 41 3/4, and then do some really quick math, 20 7/8. And double check it. And it made you look smart because you actually did it. It's amazing. You got a framing square maybe? Hold it flush somewhere. Right about there. Put a mark. Center. 3.5 right here. This I'm going to come down almost 7/8 for my ceiling. I'll find the center of this. It's 5 inches, so 2.5. That'll give me the best opportunity. Now once I get all my boxes in place, I need to drill my holes. So just like I thought about how I did the knockouts in the back of these boxes, I need to think about where I'm running wire. So I know I got one coming up this way. Needs to make it over here. So I need some type of hole right here. I know I need, what, one that goes down to underneath the sink, and then one that goes all the way into the basement. I don't want to drill one hole and then run a wire, because I might have to drill another hole later, and I could hit that good wire I just put in. So I'm trying to do it in zones. This area I'm not going to have any more wires coming through here. Maybe not. No, yeah, I won't. So I'm just going to drill this, and then I'm done up here really. I just have to run the wire. Should have left the long drill bit on. So this is going to definitely be against code, but I will hide the wire behind the trim. And when I'm nailing the trim, I'm going to be very mindful that there's wire back there. I won't forget that. So where my washer and dryer and closets are going to be, I want to have some outlets in there. I want a ironing board on the inside of this door that'll fold down, and I need a place to plug the iron in. So I got to figure out the height of my washer. Right above it, about a foot, I want an outlet. I'm just going to assume it's right about here. That would be a reasonable guess. And then right behind the washer and dryer, I'm just going to put a single box right here. And then in the closet, I want to do an outlet in each of those for hiding uglies, cell phones and computers and stuff. Batteries, I've got a lot of batteries I charge, believe it or not. I've got 3. I'm currently using 3 batteries, 3 different batteries. Kinds, manufacturers, makes, models. But I charge a lot of batteries, so to have a place where I can hide those things in the bottom of my closet would be perfect. So I'm just going to do 1 box right about here, and then 1 box, you know, I want it low actually, that was wrong. So first closet's coming in here, so here, and real low down there. Easy breezy. But that's it. Next time we're going to run tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys.